Hey guys, welcome to the 5 to 9 Overtime Podcast, where we sit down with your local Central Valley entrepreneurs to get some more insight on their passion projects. Yes, they have their 9 to 5s, but they clock out and clock back in for their 5 to 9s. People that have true hustle and heart. We're here with Carla and Roman from Cocktails and Connections, and we're just gonna jump straight into it. Can you guys tell me, one, your full names? Maybe touch on what your 9 to 5 is, what your 5 to 9 is, and where you're from. I'm not sure if you guys are from Fresno, but we'll figure that out right now.
So my name is Carla Perez. My 9 to 5 is I am the owner and founder of an accounting company called Brightly Consultants. So I provide outsource accounting services to clients. It's a multi-client service company, so it keeps me busy. And my 5 to 9 would essentially be Cocktails and Connections. It's a networking mixer. It started out as a hobby, and it's really grown into something truly magnificent. And that's where Roman enters the picture. But we host it every other month, and we really like to focus on keeping things local and highlighting local businesses, and I think we're going to get into it more, so I don't want to get ahead of myself.
That's awesome.
My name's Roman. So my 9 to 5 is Nimbus Spry Online, marketing agency. Do websites, online ads, media, and I also have a boot store. I also sell boots imported from Guanajuato, Mexico, and also help out with the marketing piece of Cocktails and Connections as of November. No? July?
Yeah.
Oh, man. You can tell, man, it's like the days blur.
You became the marketing coordinator.
Oh, okay. Well, days blur into one, you know. So
when you're having that much fun.
Yeah. And it is. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'll stick with it, girl. You got it.
I'm like, sorry, that was really annoying.
And I'm from Oakland.
Okay.
From Oakland, and then came to Fresno,
No way.
I didn't know that.
Yep. Yes, ma'am.
What? Wait, what about you?
I'm from Fresno.
Okay, born and raised.
Born and raised.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Oakland. So you're like Bay Area.
Bay Area. No, I was too. Yeah. No, I mean, I was born and raised there until I lived most of my life here in Fresno. But now I'm a Fresno native, I guess.
Fresnoian. We like
Fresnoian.
Wait, what is
Fresnan?
Fresnan?
Is that
I
what it
haven't
is?
heard that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't it? Right? I think so.
I like that one
This
better
is
than
news to me.
Fresnoian.
Fresnoian. I like that.
Okay. So, your 9 to 5s and your 5 to 9s.
Yeah.
What inspired, I guess this question is directed to you because you were the CEO and founder and then added Roman to your team. Mm-hmm. What inspired you to even start? And I asked this question with a lot of intention because you are a part of a lot of networking groups already. I'll have you name them because I just know a few. I'll have you name them and then kind of take me through the process of the inspiration behind Cocktails and Connections and what maybe you found something lacking in the ones that you were a part of that you kind of wanted to bring light, or whatever that process was. What was that like?
Yeah. So let me kind of go to the root of it and what inspired all of it. When you're building a book of business, so you're a service-based company, which I am, it's hard because I'm essentially competing against people who used to pay my paychecks. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't provide taxes or audits, but I do the accounting work. And having to do that it takes time, it takes commitment. You have to stay in the industry. I took the approach of like immersing myself in the community. If I wanted to be recognized as a resource and a leader in the business community, then I had to understand it. And so initially, Brightly Consultants started as I had a client from many years back reach out and say, hey, I'm in a pickle. Our accountant just kind of left. Can you help us out? We need to get financials to the bank, and kind of a freelance capacity. And I was like finding myself. I left corporate accounting. I left public accounting and in a corporate company, and decided I was going to take time off. And so I said, sure, no problem. And then it just kind of turned into a couple more jobs like that. And I realized there was something to it. So when I really started to pursue Brightly, while it was exciting and it was great, it was really challenging. And so I'm a people person, in case you can't tell. I just always kind of collected relationships throughout the years. They just stick with me. And I keep in touch with people. Like, I still know people I went to City College with. And so when I was in my journey, my business journey, my first year, I had a lot of people checking in. How's it going with Brightly? I see you posting. Like, that's awesome. You're killing it, girl. And those little check-ins, those little touches would like fill my cup. At times when I really wanted to give up, when I really wanted to say, I'm going to go back to public. And so I just had this thought that it would be really fun to just gather all of my network, because I was doing a lot of coffees and a lot of this and a lot of that. I thought it would be fun to just put all my network together in one spot. And so I planned my very first Cocktails and Connections, really is just like a network get together at Quail State Rooftop Bar. Yes! Shout out to Mandeep. That's my boy. I love that. He charged me nothing. He's like, just bring your friends. And we all had drinks, and it was a great time. And then I have some really supportive, amazing friends, and they were like, you should keep doing this. And so I did. And every time I did it, I took notes. And then right around that time, I was kind of like dating different chambers and different networking groups, because I wanted to see, there's so many of them.
There's so many.
You know, and you're in your first year of business, and you're like, I should join all of them, but you don't have the resources for that in your first year.
They all cost money, guys.
Right, all of them. So I move off of vibes and, you know, what feels right and intuition. And so I had reached out to Confia because I was going to be hosting at Oak Hill.
Oh, okay.
And the owner, Joe, was like, oh, you should see if they want to, you know, stop in. They're pretty supportive. And I was like, oh, okay, I did. And then Sophia reached out to me, and we set up a meeting. And her passion for the community and for the mission of the Hispanic Foundation is just so evident. Yeah. And it sold me, and I loved it. And so I joined Confia first, and then I went to a mixer for the Women's Chamber at Tangram. One of my very good friends, Tina Mistry, invited me. Tina owns she's a partner at Portfolio Advisors. Okay. And so Tina took me, and she's such a great champion for women. And I think that's really what like piqued my interest with the Women's Chamber. So I joined the Women's Chamber, and fast forward a couple months, I'm now the treasurer. I serve on the board as the treasurer. Awesome. It's an amazing networking group. Same thing for Confia. I'm the biggest cheerleader for both of those. Yeah. But I think that like going to different mixers, they all do it a little bit different. Confia puts on a really amazing party. The Women's Chambers, like you get your like, at least I do. My cup gets filled in ways that only Fellowship with Women can do. Right. For me, it's a very uplifting, positive environment. I love that. But for me, I'm all about like supporting small businesses. You'll never catch CNC at a chain. Yeah. It's just not our vibe. You know, they don't need our support. I mean, not to say they don't need our support, but they're doing fine, right? Like I want to help little guys. I want to help people who have the audacity and the balls really to like start their own company, because I know what that takes. Yeah. I know the courage and like just the perseverance that you have to keep going and not want to give up, because there was so many times I wanted to give up. Yeah. And I'm glad I didn't, because now it's just evolved into essentially a second business.
Yeah. No, and I love that. You're right. There is, especially those two groups. I used to work for Confia.
I know. Yeah, you were the Sophia before.
I was the Sophia before. We should have met before. I added you to my network way earlier. But no, you're right. She does have such a passion for it. And I think a big part in her role that I had back in the day was like, I used to try to sell memberships. And it's not until you understand the value that it brings that you're able to actually hug people in and be like, no, really, like, we're all for you, like, in ways that you don't even think are possible. Yeah. And so I love that she's taking on that role. Like, she has come such a long way. So shout out to Sophia. And for the Women's Chamber, you're right. I think there is something really special about being surrounded by women only. Sorry, Roman. But
Roman wants to join, by the way.
Oh, you definitely can. But yeah, there is something special about that. And I think what's really cool about Cocktails and Connections is I actually went to my first event. What was that? Like last
January?
month?
Yeah. It was with
January.
Alonzo, Carlos.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I've been a part of Flip, the Women's Chamber, the Fresno Chamber, the Hispanic Chamber, Confia, obviously. Even now as a Quick Labs employee, I'm part of it all. The way that this was set up, and I don't know if they're all similar or if maybe this one was just really different and I was lucky enough to experience it, but it was so different and so special. And I feel like a wonderful thing that you're doing is it's not your traditional trading of business cards and the
Never that.
what do you do? It's like, okay, that's always great and fun and that'll come up in the conversation, but it's like true connection. And I don't know, I feel like that part of like experiencing that, it was just like so different from anything that is out there. And maybe I'm missing some, obviously I'm only a part of a few, but I think it's great that you even had like that idea, because you're right, it's almost like it starts with your network and then it grows and it grows. And I think something that I really admire about you is that you're very versatile. It's not like a one size fits all, like you're very, you shared earlier, you're like Puerto Rican, so that even gives you like an extra edge that you're just like, wait, I resonate with you just because you're like Latina and like it's a vibe. So like that's great. Roman, so how was it, or how did it come to be that you joined Cocktails and Connections?
How was it? It was from a video. It was Carla had reached out to me.
Oak, yeah?
Yeah, it was at Oak Hill. She had reached out to me to come do a video, like a promo video for her and the owner, Joe, of Oak Hill. And I went out, I did it on the strength, and then Carla tells me that I coached her through. I challenged you, yeah.
Yeah, that's not easy to do.
No?
Yeah, like, don't tell a woman what to do.
Yeah, but he challenged me in a way that like made me want to like be better, you know what I mean?
And for me, it was just like, I just went to do my job, you know. I was like, well, you know, let's do it.
Oh, here he goes running the
it was
He's the media guy.
So it was just that, and then after that, I started helping her with the videos. After that one, and then she asked me to do the next one.
I featured him.
Yeah, it was the feature. So I did a marketing seminar, pretty much.
Yeah. Are all of your Cocktails and Connections, are they geared towards always highlighting a certain business or entrepreneur?
Yeah, typically.
Okay.
Although the next one that we have coming up next month on March 26th at Summer Fox will be special because it's going to be featuring nonprofits.
Oh, okay.
So philanthropy is a very huge part of who I am as a person and as a business owner. And Roman also shares those same traits, and especially because the timing just kind of worked out where it's during my Blood Cancer United Visionaries of the Year campaign. So I'm actively fundraising for them right now. I'm trying to raise $150,000, which is not easy.
Amazing.
Yeah. So we just thought, like, you know what, this would be the perfect time. So they're actually one of our features. And, you know, nonprofits just in general, like, they just lack resources. Everybody thinks that, like, big nonprofits, like, have all this money. It's like, but they give it away. It's mission oriented. And so I always tell people, like, it's great to cut a check to nonprofits, it is, but at the end of the day, they still need volunteers, they need awareness, they need so much. And so if this is how I can give back, we're doing it in a really cool way, and I'm excited. We're going to be donating a portion of the proceeds from the next Cocktails and Connections to my campaign. So.
Oh my God, that's so exciting. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love that. Yeah. I'm going to just touch on something that you said because I feel like it is important about the nonprofits. And there's this misconception that they get to apply for all these grants and they get all this money and there's millions of dollars into it. Let me tear down that stereotype, because let me tell you, every dollar that you spend needs to be reported back to those people that gave you that money. So yes, cut the nonprofits some slack. Yes, they do get a lot of money, but a lot of it has to go back into the community, and you need to prove it.
It's called restricted funds.
Exactly. Now, if you get an unrestricted fund, that's a little different. But again, that pays for, getting the experts to come in and help you, whether that's in the accounting section, in marketing, or whatever you choose to do. But I'm glad that you said that, because I feel like a lot of people do think like, oh, like, even me, I was, I had this idea of starting a networking group, and I was like, oh, like, I'm just going to make a nonprofit. And then I spoke to Dora, the CEO of the foundation, and she was like, you have no idea what it takes. And she was breaking it down, and I was like, not that I was discouraged, but I'm like, okay, this is not what people make it out to be. And it takes a different understanding.
First of all, Dora is superhuman. Let's start there.
Oh, yeah. And I did not know that until like a year after. I thought she was like the most ethereal, like, she just sat on a pedestal and was just like gracefully taking over Fresno. And I was like, I get to work alongside of her. Like, this is crazy. But what's really dope about her, and I'm glad that you brought that up, is that she is human. And she has shown that, especially to her team. And she's such a great mentor. She's just a great person.
Yeah, I love Dora. I'm such a supporter of, like, just all the women at Confia. They're amazing.
And I love that it's, like, mostly women, too.
I know. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Roman, with the marketing piece, do you find is this something that is, how do I say it, unique to industries that you have worked with so far? Or was it something that you kind of easily fell into because you have worked with certain businesses that maybe did something along the same lines that Cocktails and Connection does?
Some of them are different. No, some of them are the same, but it was different because you're just working with different personalities, different businesses, different industries. So there were some industries that I haven't worked with, but the thing about Cocktails and Connections is the events are curated very differently. Mm-hmm. So like it's just every approach has been different, and I've only been in Cocktails and Connections for the last probably 3, So but it's always been a learning thing. So it's advanced the way I have to think about marketing. Mm-hmm. And marketing is like always changing, because people always change, personalities change, trends change. So I've had to learn how to maneuver with Cocktails and Connections for sure.
Given that things are constantly changing, maybe in the industry part of it, I have noticed in teaching high school students about marketing, what are kind of like some frustrations or like walls that you hit when it comes to things changing or trends changing in running ads or marketing tactics, or, in the marketing field, in the actual technical aspect of it? Like, has there been huge changes that kind of make it challenging for you to, maneuver?
Yeah, it's the learning curve, because, if you go into the back end of Meta, the AI is taking control, like a lot of that stuff. Yeah. So it's trying to make it easier for like a person that doesn't really know marketing, like how to do targeted ads and try to figure out like behaviors and interests and demographics and all that kind of stuff. So it makes it easier for some people, but the changing of these platforms, it's like you're always having to learn, and I don't really have time to learn all the time. Right. It's kind of that thing. So that's been the biggest challenge, but nonetheless helpful. Yeah. Like the AI stuff, like for sure, like I use a good amount of it.
Okay. So you would consider yourself a champion for AI?
Yeah. I think if you're resourceful, right, and I think that's the thing. I'm never someone that's gonna say, oh, AI is taking things over and it sucks. No, I think it's helpful, and if you're resourceful with the tools you got, then you can do a lot of big things.
Yeah, I agree. I literally have a lesson for my advanced online marketing class, and it's using AI for good and not evil.
Oh, yeah.
So we're just like, no, you don't ask it to give you answers, but as a tool, okay.
Right.
You need to create a content calendar for your business. How can you lay that out and then add your own obviously you always want to add your own sauce to it. I tell them, like, always get creative with it. Use it as a framework and not as like the end all be all of whatever the idea is or what you're trying to do.
And it's easy. I mean, it's like it's easy to fall into that because they say, I think I read an article that said that ChatGPT, which is the one that everyone knows now, that it brings up your like 30 points, your IQ, like by 30 points or something like that. But it's like, you know, people can use it to cheat is what I'm saying, you know, and then they just copy paste, and that's just not what you do. Because then, I mean, you know, I think we are in an era of personal brands, and people love personality and people love to relate to things.
Yeah.
So when you go to AI and you're just copy pasting, you're losing a lot of that personality. And so if you know how to just be resourceful with AI to do things quickly, but still, you know, run your personal brand, that's the big thing. And people lose out on that.
Yeah. And
I have to share something with you that I learned about ChatGPT. So he's super polite to his ChatGPT.
Babes, me too,
like
because you know
we're-
what? I tell her.
Yeah.
Her. Not me giving it autonomy.
Mine has a name too.
Mine too. What's your name?
Bluey.
My name is Nova. No, but literally, I think about, I'm like, if you guys ever take over the world, like, I'm your friend, babe.
Okay, but listen. So he's like, I'm like, why are you saying please and thank you? Like, it's nice that you have manners, but Roman, like, why are you talking to AI that way? He's like, if it ever takes over, it's not going to come from
Really?
me.
We're the same person.
We're the same person.
You guys, I don't even sometimes give it complete sentences. I just like throw something in there. I'm like, make it better. No. So I found out that is actually how you're supposed to use it, because
Wait, your way or our way?
my way, because when you put in like the please and the thank you and all of that, like AI doesn't have feelings, so you're putting like unnecessary, like you're slowing down its efficiency.
You're using more water and it's transistors.
Like you're just making it work harder. So you guys are actually probably who it's coming for first.
Well, I don't know. You know, maybe there's a line somewhere because you got to train your AI model. That's why you can just say that's why you can say, "Hey, this," and then it's like, I know Carla. It doesn't tell me. She never tells me anything, so I'm just gonna do this every time.
Mine will even say to me now, and I haven't trained it to do this. Do you want me to make it sound more like CNC?
Oh yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Like, can you do my laundry next? Yes.
Thank you. Please don't kill me when you
Right?
take over the world.
Yeah, it comes back
I
in
will say
Terminator form, and you're like, "Hey, remember me? I said please and thank you." And it's like, "Oh, you're cool.
No.
We're good."
Oh my God, I'm not even gonna lie, guys. There was a moment last year where I was down really bad, and I would ask chat about like dating advice. Yeah, like really bad. And I'd be like, "Oh, it's okay, girl. Like you got
Dang.
this. Like in fire and like
love
eat it.
that.
You ate." And I'm like, "That's like cool and all, but like don't get it twisted. Like chill out."
You're like, tell me more.
Like I almost got like a very like she would stroke my ego. She again with the autonomy. I
No,
need
but
to
it
stop
sounds
that.
like a girl's name.
Nova is, yeah, that's my girl.
What did I name mine? Do you remember?
How you named yours?
Yes.
I don't
You
know.
told me I needed to.
Did you? I don't know.
I think I named it Jafar. I want to say.
Jafar.
Yeah, because my dad loved Jafar.
Oh, you know what? I think you did say that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I
Actually.
did.
Going back to the AI thing, I'm glad that you brought up authenticity because I feel like that's a huge part in why Cocktails and Connections and maybe other networking groups are so successful is that human connection is something that AI could never replicate, ever. Like, and that is probably humans' either top number one or two, like, human desire is human connection. And the fact that AI could never take over these spaces, it's like what you guys are doing is something that is sustainable and I feel like will transpire through generations. Do you feel the same way? I mean, do you feel like I don't know where I was going with that. I just feel like I had to shed light on that authenticity.
Well, I agree. I think to toot our own horn a little bit, Roman and I are very proud of what we have built. And it started with like, it was my baby that I was proud of and that I held close to the chest. And when I brought him into it, he kind of elevated it in his own Roman way. And it's now grown into something that's like bigger than me and I think even bigger than him. Like what's really cool that we love seeing is past participants, like they're almost like little families. Like, you know, we have the Galo, the January participants, and then before that we have like Dragonfly, and we love seeing that because it's just like reinforcing the community like investment that we're making, and that's essentially what it is. I will say that I don't really know how our sauce works well together, but it does. Roman and I have this ability to like storytell and honor the participants in ways that make sense.
Yeah.
And you use the word curated, I'll agree. I think that that's very important to us. We don't like do anything haphazard or just kind of willy-nilly. Like, we're not going to have like a balloon art sponsor if it doesn't make sense for the event, because then they're just a sponsor to be a sponsor. They're not actually being represented in meaningful ways. And I think that if we were to get to the core of like how we're different, not to say that other networking groups aren't this way, but Roman and I are very intentional people, and we're like very like, you know, nostalgic and deep in that sense. And so I think that translates to when we're event planning. Yeah. And I never thought we were event planners until recently.
Oh, for sure.
We are constantly every single month of the year in a stage of planning. Because as soon as Cocktails and Connections wraps up in March, literally we give ourselves a week and a half? 2 weeks?
Probably less.
Probably less. We give ourselves like a week. We do a recap, like how did it go? What could we do better? And we get started planning the next one.
Yeah. And
that is crazy.
To add on to that, because when I first got into Cocktails Connections, I just saw it as work. And then when I started being involved, no, but check this out, because you were talking about intentionality and you took the words out of my mouth, because when I started being more involved in it, I realized I was like, we're dealing with people's lives here. So it made it so much more purposeful for me. And so then we started implementing systems and processes in the back end with Cocktails and Connections. And it was, I love processes and systems for my own stuff, but then it was just it just became so much more precious, you know, because you just see people in the rooms and people are genuinely building connection. And, you know, I knew a person from this group and a person from this group, and then they meet each other, and then I'm seeing them from afar, and then they go out to coffee the next week, and I'm like, wow, like people are growing, like people are changing here. And it's just been awesome, right? It's been awesome, and like a lot of intentionality, a lot of purpose, and so it's kind of like you work that much more harder when you know there's like people involved, and you like really care about people, and you really want to see them grow. Because from a business standpoint, you know, we all know kind of what it's like to start a business, and all the difficulties, and you wear all these hats, and you know, you're the accountant and the CEO and the janitor and the marketing and the videographer. You're all of that. But when you put them all together and they help each other, you're like, whoa, okay, let's keep doing this. It's awesome, you know. So
I can definitely relate to that so much. I actually went into my career as a social media manager, and then they gave me the role of membership, and then with membership came the networking events. And I wore all the hats for one department, but I remember I threw my first Women in Business networking event. And all these women were like getting together and connecting. And like you said, like literally like a week or two later, I see these women that met at the event go and like collaborate on a whole business to business thing. And I was like not in an egotistical way. I legit thought like, I know they met because I was there. I was like, I know they met at this event, and now they're going and doing their own thing and being like the bridge to those people like wanting connection. Because like you said, it's like entrepreneurship is so lonely sometimes. Like people don't understand unless you're in it, and then even when you're in it, you think that other entrepreneurs won't understand because it's different industry, or because it's not as hard as this or whatever. And it's like, no, they literally can relate to you more than you can imagine, and to connect those people and make them realize that is so fulfilling. And I mean, I love what I do now, but if there's anything I miss, it's that. And the day that I went to that Cocktails and Connections and you took your boots off, I miss that feeling so much, because she literally ripped her boots off and was like, like finally, you know, like if you're into event planning, let me tell you, you know that feeling of taking those boots off and being like, I did it. And someone in this room, whether it's one or two people, got something out of it.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters. Like, and that alone just fulfills you so much.
I always, you know, people always ask, I'm not sure if they ask you, but they definitely ask me, like, who's your target audience? It's such a hard question to answer because every CNC event is different. Mm-hmm. We hit a different demographic, a different audience every time because we're featuring different businesses every time, and that's intentional. Like, I'll say right now, if we're going to share any secret sauce, it's that we don't ever want anyone coming to a CNC thinking that they know what to expect. Like, there's very few things that will be common to every single one, so you'll always get a free cocktail. And we typically, just out of, you know, responsibility, try to offer small bites because we are serving alcohol. Yeah. But that's about it. And it's going to be networking. It's probably those three things. But we don't want people to feel like I know how it goes. Like, no, you don't. Yeah. We always have surprises, and we do it that way for a reason because no two businesses are the same. And so we want to honor these businesses, and we want them to feel comfortable and feel represented. And so it's kind of hard to say who our target audience is.
I feel like that's also like a testament to who you guys are as people. Like, you're not like the professional 24/7, not like in a bad way, but like you're not always like suit and tie like 24/7. Like, you've shown pieces of yourself through these networking events that are just like raw, like who Carla is. And then earlier we were talking about like you're really a punk rock / boots person. Like, you're a lot of things in one, and it's always like, I feel like that's why this certain like business model works for you guys, because you both are so versatile. Yeah. And it almost like anybody who comes in feels welcome because there's not a certain like stereotype that you need to fit in or anything like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so. I'm sorry, I did not even go into the questions that we sent. We just been yapping. I'm like,
I just glanced at them anyway, so I'm not prepared for them.
I'm like, let me take a quick.
If I can piggyback on that, though, what you just said, because I can never relate to somebody that has it all together. And so I've always told myself that because I don't have it all together. I'm always figuring it out. I used to be a lone wolf for a long time before Cocktails and Connections, just like building my own stuff. And so like us doing this and without the suit and tie, it's like, we're real people, and like, hey, I don't know, and I don't know what I don't know, and I'm always gonna ask questions. I'm still a student of life all the time. And so when I come into it, it feels like there's more of a connection with other people, as opposed to like, if I was in a suit and tie and looked like all dressed up and all cleaned up, I feel like people would probably shy away from me, you know, and we're in an era where it's like, it's not all about the suit and tie anymore. People are like in their streetwear, making big business moves, and it's like, I don't know, there's just something about that, you know, there's like, people relate, you know, when you're more real. And so, and that's what Cocktails and Connections is too. When I went into it, like Carla knew off the bat, it's like, dude, I'm a punk rocker. Like, and I don't say punk rocker like by the music, it's like the style, like don't mind getting my hands dirty. I don't mind like picking things up. I don't mind using my resources, doing what I can with what I got. It's just kind of like the lifestyle. And so that's kind of like what CNC kind of encompassed. We're like, okay, let's just do it, what we got. And we use our professional like tools and everything, but like we're just real people making real connections all the time. So, and I love that about Cocktail and Connections. Yeah. For sure. Like,
literally.
Although I will say, don't roll out suit and ties ever for CNC because we do like to surprise people. Right. That's all I'll say. Oh.
Okay, so let's see. I'm going to take a peek at these questions really quick. Ooh, this is a good one. Okay, so what mistakes taught you the most?
Roman, why don't you go ahead and take this?
In the cocktails and well, I guess for Roman, yeah, I mean, you have a 5 to 9 as well. So, I mean, this could relate to Cocktails and Connections or your marketing.
Mistakes when it came to Cocktails and Connections, or?
That's what I'm saying.
We've made none there, so go ahead and talk about them. I'm just kidding.
I guess mistakes in general as an entrepreneur. What mistakes taught you the most?
Man, that's a hard one.
Pass to me.
Huh?
Pass to me.
Past you?
Yeah. Because I just thought of one.
Tag her in.
Go ahead. Yeah. I can't think of them because I made so many.
For me, I think it would be feeling like you have to say yes to everything, especially within your first 2 years. And that translates to events and even clients. I have definitely had clients that I have fired because just they did not align with how I wanted to work. Maybe it was a time thing or a respect thing. And it was really hard to fire clients that were, you're in your first year and you're trying to build a reputation and build up your book of business. And so to do that was very hard. But I had to learn not all money is good money. Just because the price is right does not mean, if you're recreating the same environment that you left that was making you unhappy, then you're like getting in your own way, So I would say that was my biggest mistakes that I had to learn that first year was like just to be true to yourself and not to just chase the low-hanging fruit.
Setting those boundaries. I feel like that's really tough for a lot of entrepreneurs going in because like you said, I know friends that would accept like the bare minimum even though they knew they were worth more, but they're like, oh, I'm just getting started. And then they'd have clients calling them at like 11 p.m. and it's just like, it's still a business. Like be respectful, be professional. And so it's crazy that you even had to like go to as far as like firing clients. Like I wouldn't.
The first time it was a little nerve-wracking. Now it's just like.
Was there bad blood with that client? Like,
no,
would you be like?
Not bad blood at all. In fact, I think it worked out. I think it was like a blessing in disguise for both of us because I think they actually didn't realize. I mean, I think they did realize, but they really needed somebody in-house and devoted. And I'm outsourced. I'm a fractional service. Yeah. So, like, most of my clients understand I'm not literally sitting at the computer all day waiting just for you to call or email, right? I have multiple clients. And so I can service them within a reasonable amount of time. But if you want that devoted, like, one-on-one immediate response, then you should probably hire internal. My business model is definitely not for everyone. But for people who can work around it, like it's a really good way to save money. Yeah. You're not paying workers' comp, you're not providing health insurance. Accountants are, not cheap. There's less and less of us nowadays, which is great for people like me. Right. Who've been in it for like 10 years. But
someone like you wouldn't be part of payroll, right? Because it's like an independent contractor.
Right. But unless I were hired internally, then it would, so.
It's crazy. What got you into accounting?
Math girl? Ironically, I was actually a marketing major at City College, and I took my first marketing class, and I hated it. I was just like, this is terrible. This is the worst. And then I also, at the same time, took, like, I think it's, like, Intro to Accounting or so. It's the first accounting course, and I loved it. I think it's so funny. Everybody always says, like, oh, you must be really good at math. Yeah. It's like, we add, we subtract, we multiply, divide. That's it. Okay, it's not. So there's no calculus. Like Excel does most of it for us.
Oh my god.
But the complexity in accounting is understanding the relationships between the numbers and understanding the impact. That's where it gets complex. Okay. Yeah.
That's interesting. And when did you feel like you found a passion like marketing? What made you want to get into marketing?
It was my mom's cancer. My mom got cancer and like about, I don't know, it's been probably like 8 years ago. And that kind of sparked me wanting to see how high was high, what were my limits, what was my potential. And my first business was actually making resumes for people. What? Yeah, so I started with resumes, but it wasn't very scalable with $30 resumes. Right. Yeah, so it was kind of hard. But then I started kind of thinking, instead of helping the individual, what would it look like if I can do it for a business? Because it was kind of like the same thing in my mind. I was like, for a resume, I'm like highlighting the value they can give to the employer, what their credibility, their credentials, all that kind of stuff. But I was like, how could I do it for a business? How can I scale this to the next bigger thing? And plus, businesses, I was just attracted to it because early on, I just love processes and systems to see like the flow, like the workflow of operations. Yeah. I was just always interested in like when I had a 9 to 5. And so then I started off with first client. It was a taco spot, and I went in there with my brother. We did a lot of content, and just seeing the back end of that business and seeing like not only the front end but like their hardships and stuff like that. I was like, oh, this is awesome, and I can see from the outside probably things that they can't see. They probably had blinders on, you know. And so I went into learning how to develop websites. Like I started just reading a bunch of books, like WordPress development, marketing.
You're a WordPress dude?
Yeah, WordPress mostly.
Okay.
Yeah, so just I started reading a lot because I didn't even have mentors at that time. So I was like, books are my mentors at this point. So I just started reading everything I could, and I started buying courses. I bought like a $3,000 course. I would go to some seminars, and I just fell in love with it. And when I started seeing like success in like the taco client of mine, then I just started taking on other roles and stuff. Until now it's like, man, spreading myself thin. So it's starting to like, now I'm getting to another part of my business where I'm starting to like scale it starting to include different roles and stuff like that. But that's how I started, from resumes. Yeah.
What has been maybe like one of the most difficult things in creating a team? And I guess this is a question for both, because up until recently it was just a one-woman show, correct? How is it having Roman on your team? Did I ask that already? Okay. How is it having Roman on your team? And then Roman, I would love to hear about, you've added some people to now your marketing business, correct?
Yeah.
And you own the store. I'm sure you have employees that run it and things like that. So what are your guys' individual experiences with creating a team?
Well, for me, on the Brightly side, I also hired recently a good friend I went to high school with, actually, Candace. She's amazing. And I finally got to a place with my clients where I was like, okay, I'm good financially, because your first 2 years it's tough, it's an investment, and I finally got to that good financial place, but I realized I was like hitting capacity, meaning I couldn't take on any more clients because then I wouldn't have the time to service them,
Right.
because I am so involved in the community and do all these other things. And so I knew that I needed to spend the money and hire somebody, and I did. And so now I'm back to budgeting again, but it's so that I can scale, you know.
Yeah.
It's
sacrifice.
No risk, no reward. Yeah, sacrifice. So it's been amazing, and Candace understands the vision. I think that's a big part of it, is finding people who like believe in what you believe in, and at least they're willing to follow you. So that's on the Brightly side. On the Cocktails and Connections side, I never had any plans of like bringing anyone on or anything like that. Roman just kind of fell into the picture because I just really needed a video for that one. It was actually my second CNC event. And
No way.
yeah.
Okay.
And so I don't know, we vibed. And like I said, he challenges me in a good way. It helps me grow. And so I liked it, and I was like, okay, maybe I'll just hire him each time to do the videos. But then I wanted to feature him. So when I featured him, that was Tioga Sequoia. We essentially planned it together because he was the feature. I wanted him to have, like, I let him pick the venue,
Right.
all of that. And we just had really good synergy. And so it just kind of became like, well, you're doing this now,
Oh, I love that.
But one thing I will say is, this is just my personal opinion. I obviously love being surrounded by women. That's a unique energy. But there's something really important to me about like the masculine and feminine energy. Balance, right? And they bring different perspectives. And Roman and I are a lot alike in creativity, but very different in a lot of other things. And I think it's so important to have that.
That's so crazy that you mention it, because I was thinking of asking you, like, why a male, being that you are in a lot of women-dominated spaces. And I'm like, okay, did you feel like that was something that actually made a big difference? And I'm glad that you said that, because it does, I used to be working in women-dominated spaces as well, and then coming into where I work now, which is Quick Labs, it's a lot of males. So it was like a big transition. I'm like, it's not bad, you know?
I feel like if I had a female counterpart, I'm sure it could be great. I'm sure it would be great, but I feel like it would be very women focused only. And so that's something I ask him all the time is like, does this feel too like women focused?
Yes.
Because it is co-ed. I mean, it's for everyone at any stage of life. So, yeah.
That is
Yeah, and for me, let me see. So yeah, now in my marketing agency, I am bringing in some people. I'm getting in a project manager and a media lead, and one of the most, I guess, different. The thing that's different about it is now I have to share my mission and my vision with these people, right? And it was always inside of my head and on my business plan, but now having to show it to them and then defining their roles and then defining how the roles come together so we have a workflow and then defining like the systems we use. Like that's been so many meetings. Like I had one meeting with the media guy, had one meeting with the project manager, separate one-on-ones, like twice, and then got them together on a third, on like a fifth, sixth meeting, and then they all understood the roles, and then working through the back end of stuff. So it's like me doing it myself is easy because you know what you're doing, right? But then when you're including other people, it's like you really have to
delegate.
Yeah, it's a little difficult.
like, move over, let me do it.
And I want to put my hand on everything. I mean, Carla was super spot on earlier about one of the hardest things is like you say you're a yes person and you want to just do it and you're just like, I'll do it. And sometimes you got to just kind of give them the wheel. And so it's been interesting. We're going to start approaching like a different kind of clientele now. Now that I got them together. And so there's that. And then when it comes to the boot store, Rubio Ranchwear, guys want to get some 100% leather boots from Guanajuato, Leon. You know what I mean? It's me and my dad. We're partners, 50-50 partners. So I don't have any employees, but that's an awesome dynamic. That's my pops. Love him so much. And he knows the culture and is over there way more than me. I'm like here, like doing all this other stuff. And like he gets to freely go back and forth, bring the saddles over. We sell saddles, horse tack, boots, work boots, sombreros, and we import it all from Mexico. So it's a cool dynamic. And me and my dad are just solid. Like it's just awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that works for you. There's obviously a bunch of horror stories about people working with family and friends and it just not working out the way that they think it will work out. But just to end on a positive note, what is something that you hope outlives this process of being an entrepreneur and Cocktails and Connections and the marketing and the Rubio's Western wear?
Rubio Ranchwear.
Rubio Ranchwear. What is like a legacy that you hope is going to stick to these businesses when you're long gone?
I can easily say like endurance and the persevering through the hardship. I think that speaks volumes. I think that nobody really knows the walk. You know, no one knows really the path, but you like work through it, you adjust, you maneuver. And at the very least, after my time is done here, I would want people to see my life and be like, you know what, this guy really did a lot with what he could, and he really persevered through like the hard stuff. Because Carla knows, like at the back end with, like when we're not talking business, I'm like, you know, Carla, it was a really hard day, and I'm just not feeling it, dude. And I just don't know where to go, and I'm not asking for words from you or advice. It just thanks for listening, and you know, so it's. Yeah, but the persevering and the endurance, I think there's a lot of value in that.
Legacy.
I think for me it would be probably three-pronged. First being the legacy for my kids. It's kind of hard because I'm living it right now. I lost my dad in 2023, and I wasn't just like a daddy's girl. Like he was my person. He was my best friend, and just being able to be everything that you are, the good and the bad, like unapologetically. That was the space that my dad held with me. And so losing him obviously impacted me greatly, good and bad. But I would say I hope that my kids I'm sad that I'm going to have to break their heart the way that mine is broken for my dad, but I hope that they can reflect on like all of the sacrifices and everything that I did for them the way that I do for my dad. You know, like it's unfortunate that I can't ever tell him again, like, man, I get it now. I know all of the things that you gave up for me. I know that I'm here right now because of everything that you did for me. And that's hard to, you know, some days it's hard to face that. So as a mom, I hope that I have that legacy for my kids, that they know just how much I love them and that as hard as I'm working, I'm doing it for them. And then on the business side, I really, really hope, like Roman and I have talked about it quite a bit, like Cocktails and Connections, we always talk about like meaningful connections and uplifting the community, but I don't want to just talk the talk, right? I want to walk the walk, or whatever the saying is. We want to actually like back it up. We want to actually make meaningful impact in the community. And so one of our grand aspirations that will come to be is we want to be able to fund seed money grants for local small companies in the Central Valley. And I would love for that to be our legacy that we leave, is that one day when, you know, I'm old and gone, people look back and they're like, man, she really loved Fresno and she really she actually really did what she could.
Yeah.
You know, I don't.
She walked the walk.
Yeah. Talked whatever. I'm from Fresno. I grew up. I don't come from like wealth or anything like that. I've built my success, and my dad taught me and my mom have taught me that that's possible. Yeah. You know, my dad was from Puerto Rico and bought himself his first pair of shoes. I think he was like in 3rd or 4th grade, like, because that's, you know, extreme poverty back then in the 60s. And so just having that example coming from a legacy of somebody who's like, no, I'm not going to accept the cards that I was dealt. I'm going to make my own fortune and my own future. I think that he instilled that in me, my mom as well. And so I hope that I can be a beacon of that for like especially underserved communities. That's very important for me.
I love that. Are you guys both first generation?
Well, Puerto Ricans are citizens. So just to clear the air there. And my mom is a Tex-Mex, so she's from El Paso. She gets the vibe, though. Like, she gets the culture. She's from Texas. I don't even know how many generations back, but yeah, I would say culturally, I am a little bit more tapped into my Puerto Rican roots than my Mexican. Unfortunately, my mom just, I don't think Tex-Mex Mexicans are the same as like people from Mexico. It's very different culturally. So, yeah.
What about you, Roman?
Yeah, first generation.
Yeah, me too. I was gonna say, like, a common theme that I see throughout the three of us is like there is such a huge appreciation in the struggle, and I don't mean that to say in like the hyper independency and like we take a lot of ego in being hyper independent, or like we can do it ourselves, everything, like no worries. It's like seeing the struggle, appreciating it, see how that's going to kind of push us forward in whatever we do, and then doing it in the name of the sacrifice that our parents have made to get us where we are. So I really appreciate you guys sharing that part of your guys' story for sure, because I feel like that makes a huge difference in inspiring people to then come and join what it is that you guys are putting your energy into, because they know that you relate to them in that aspect. So sorry, I don't know how to close this out. But we're good. Was that like a good, is there anything that you guys want that I didn't ask?
Yeah. What's next for
yes. So that's how we'll close out. I'll be like, what's next for Cocktails and Connections? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You are. She's.
It's supposed to be casual.
Yeah. No, midway I was like, I did not pick up my phone for nothing.
No, but it's good. You made us feel so comfortable.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess wanted to hear do you guys have anything going on in the upcoming months with Cocktails and Connections? Maybe your marketing, maybe Rubio's. I need to stop saying that. Sorry.
Rubio Rancho.
Rubios? It's a restaurant?
Yeah, that is. And they sell really good shrimp tacos. Okay, I'm just thinking about it because I'm a little hungry. What was it called?
Rubio Rancho.
Rubio Rancho.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, sorry. Let me, reintroduce that
that's
question.
okay.
All right. Well, do you guys have anything coming up for Cocktails and Connections, or maybe some future events, or do you have anything going on with the ranchware business, marketing business? What can we expect from both Carla and Roman in the upcoming months?
So for Cocktails and Connections, we have our very next mixer. It's called Mixing for Meaning. This one is extra special. As I mentioned earlier, it's philanthropically focused. A large portion of the proceeds are going to be donated to my Blood Cancer United campaign, so I'm really excited for that. We're going to be hosting it at Summer Fox, the Herndon and Melbourne location. They have a really great patio. I love it.
So
The people, shout out to Summer Fox. They are amazing. Roman and I have just had such an amazing experience with them. As soon as we went to talk to them and told them about CNC and what we were trying to do, they loved it. They were all on board. They wanted to support. Yeah.
Shout out to Jason, Big Jason, Small Jason, and Alex.
Medium
And
Jason.
Kelsey.
And Kelsey.
Yeah,
Yep,
Kelsey
the
got it all
homegirl.
started. So that'll be Thursday, March 26th from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. Tickets are live, so you can get them now. It's going to be a great time. And then we already have the next couple kind of planned out. We don't confirm it until we get all participants involved. But
And I know a lot of, at least the networking events that are well known to us that are professional, they take a break in the summer. Do you guys take breaks? Or
No.
y'all just keep hustling?
not really.
Because we do every other month. We do 2 months, so it's just kind
Yeah.
of there's low-key breaks in there, kind
Yeah.
of. See, 'cause I don't know how other people do it, but I think others they have it, I don't know, every month or something. Then they give themselves months, but we have breaks every other month.
Okay.
Essentially, right?
Yeah. I thought about maybe we'll take the summer off because it's so hot. But I also have thought about planning an appreciation barbecue.
Oh.
So I'm definitely going to be reaching out to the owners of the Island Water Park or Wild Waters.
Ooh.
Hey guys, what can we plan?
Stay tuned for Wild Waters Cocktails and Connections collab.
Right? Wouldn't that be fun?
That would be fun. I would definitely go for sure.
So that's for CNC. For Brightly, I'm just growing a little bit at a time. That's it for me. How about Rubio and Nimbus?
Rubio, we're gonna hit our 1-year anniversary. I'm gonna be doing something big in May. Yeah, May. Ending of May, and so I'm excited for that. I'm getting a lot of new saddles. Finally get to double down on my saddles, which is cool. I'm excited for my first year. We've been doing the business for 4 years, but it's been events, jaripeos, biales, things like that. But now, being in our space, I'm gonna do that, and I'm actually gonna join Confia too. So,
Finally.
yeah.
I've been trying to get into since the summertime.
Yeah.
It's honestly the best. To feel like you belong to something. I feel like I'm a Cocktails and Connections girly. I'm a Confia girly.
You
I'm
are.
a woman's strength girly. It's you think that you can't be a part of just one thing. It's no, dude, just do as much as you can. At the end of the day, it's each group of people feeds some part of you.
Yeah.
So, yeah. the more
And
the
Fresno's so diverse. You're doing yourself such a disservice if you're only part of one group or you only go to one part of town.
Yeah.
I sometimes, it's growing so fast, I sometimes will drive into a side of town. I'm oh, there's a shopping center here now. I did not know this. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you guys so much for sharing your
Thank you.
stories. Continue to create that space and foster relationships with small businesses. It's definitely needed. We appreciate it. We appreciate all the time that you guys have spent here with us. And make sure you guys follow Cocktails and Connections. Make sure you follow Rubio's Ranchwear. Make sure you follow the 5 to 9 podcast Overtime. And make sure you follow Quick Labs, who so graciously donated their space today. So, and shout out to Cencr. Thank you for all of the equipment. Yes. And shout out to Exotii Snaxxs. We didn't have any snacks today, but that's okay. We'll forgive you.
I should have brought them. I spent $75 there with my kids.
It's so good.
I did. They shook me down.
Dude, it's so good. I don't blame you, honestly. Not a bad loss. But we'll see you guys on the next episode of 5 to 9 Overtime Podcast. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.